Alright, this is a video for Ed. Ed, also known as Unique NY City. I had posted a video on some stitching, some leather hand stitching that I had done on this piece here, just as practice. I was trying to use my pricking iron to make the holes, as well as two different awls. That's the front, here's the back. Focus. Focus. There we go. Anyway, yeah, the point was that I'm terrible with the awl. So the pricking iron looks pretty good. The pony awl looks meh, and the rounded awl was better. Anyway, he had some question about the stitching, how I accomplished this look. So I thought I'd give him a few pointers. So I'll stitch this this last little bit of stitching here, but before I do that, maybe I'll just use another piece of leather just to make it more clear. So I took this piece of leather here. This is actually a lot thicker. This is I would say 14 ounces, maybe more. Yeah, 15 ounces probably better. I just glued together, and I put some pretty big holes in there. That's not made with a pricking iron. Obviously that's made with a lacing chisel. I never use this, but I have one laying around, so I just use this to make the holes really big. I mean, effectively they're the same as the holes you would make for stitching with your thread, but just a lot bigger. So I'll stitch that up, and just before I do that, I'll just talk about it. So I call this the front, but really it's the right side, whether or not that's the front for you. But that's the way I think about it. When I put my leather in the clam, the front is on the right side and the back is the left side. So the right side or front and the back side are the left. And I stitch with the holes going up and away, okay? So if you look this way, they're going up and away. If you look on that side, you can see they're still going up and away. So that's how I do my holes. So it's important to keep that in mind. If for some reason you stitch the other way, where the holes go down and away or up and towards you, that's different. You have to kind of do things opposite. But I don't stitch this way. I stitch this way, and I stitch from away coming back. So I start out on the end away from me and I stitch back, okay? So just keep that in mind. That's how I do it. I can stitch any way. I mean, I can stitch going forward, I can stitch with the slants going the other way, but I'm only gonna show one way, and that's the most common way that I do it, and that's with the slants going up and away, and I'm going to be stitching towards myself. Okay, let's do a little edit right here. Alright, so this I'm going to start stitching this here in a second. I just want to go over a couple things. So here's a piece of leather we'll be stitching. I don't know, here's my really super cheap AliExpress stitching pony. I use that a lot, actually. I lent my nice one to a friend of mine, so I use this one. Anyway, next also I've got some thread here. These are big holes, so I grabbed some big thread. That's the biggest thread I have. This is some main thread. I really don't like it, so please don't take it as a endorsement. I don't like it at all, but anyway, it's big. I hope it shows up well. So as I've said before in a post or two, I always stitch left first, so my left needle goes in the hole, and then so if you imagine the thread's coming out here, my right needle and thread goes over that and in the bottom of the hole. Okay, so I just circled that there. Okay, so on the other side, on the left side, the thread is going to go in the top of the hole here, and then on the right side, thread goes over and into the bottom of the hole. Okay, so we'll do that in a second. But if you just think top of the hole on the left, bottom of the hole on the right. Okay, and that's really it. Oh man, I was stitching with this main thread, and it's just terrible. It was so unbearable. I had had this all stitched up. I had to just stop it and cut it all off and start again. It's really unpleasant. I don't know, some people really like it, so don't take my word for it, but I would say I hate it. And I have this some thread I guess from Tandy. It's pretty bad, but I think it'll do the job. Hopefully it won't make me as angry as that main thread. It's way too waxy, this stuff here, but I don't know, it'll do the job, I think. So yeah, I just got a piece of thread out. We'll get started on that here. Okay, and we're in like sin, as they say. Now I've only got one hand for this. I don't have a stand for my my iPhone or anything, but anyway, so let's get going. So you can see this is the left side, or the back side as I call it, and what we're aiming for here is to go put our left needle in towards the top of the hole. Okay, I've got them circled here for the first couple. So we're going to go in the top here, and I'm going to pull with my right. Now let's not worry about the crossing of the needles yet. I've only got one hand anyway, so hopefully I can get that. Yeah, cool, just come through. That's the left. Okay, and now this right needle is going to go over. Okay, it's going to go over this left needle that's come through. Okay, over. That's the important part. Okay, and it's going to go in the bottom of this hole. Alright, just in case I punctured my thread, I give it a little tug. Okay, pull. Okay, and these days I don't put much of a bias on my thread, so if any, I actually pull them both down. Okay, that's where I put my tension. I pull them both down slightly. Okay, and I can't really get proper tension here because I've only got one hand, but I'll try. So I'll do the left here, and then I'll do the right. But really, I find it's, as long as it's kind of even pressure and it's timed right, you get a decent aesthetic. Okay, I'm going to do that once more. So again, the left goes in on the top of this hole. Focus. Focus. There we go. Oh, lost her. We lost her. Okay, and then the right is going to go over the left. Okay, over as opposed to under. Okay, you could totally stitch under, right? And I'm not going to say it's wrong, it's going to give you a different aesthetic. I don't think it changes the strength, but it'll give you a different aesthetic. Okay, it's going to make this thread lay differently. So we're going to go over, okay, and on the bottom. Okay. And this is just one way of stitching. I'm not doing a cast. Okay. There's different ways to do it. There's better videos out there. This is a terrible video. Definitely check out Nigel Armitage's video. Ian Atkinson has one, or a couple. They both have a couple, so check those out. Okay, I'm pulling down on both of these. Down the clam. Okay. You can see that slant there. This is the left side. Slant's looking pretty good. The right side looking decent. Alright, anyways, we'll get back to that. So I'll just show you one here with a crossover with the needles, because you had asked. Okay, going in there at the top. So when your needle's in here, yes, it's what you said. So this is the needle on top or in front. I go in back, okay, back or on the bottom, and you grab it, okay, and pull. Okay, now there are times if you're stitching differently than me, like with the holes the way they are, going up and away, or if you're stitching in a different direction, something like that, then yes, you want to do this. But in this particular case, you want to go underneath, okay? Sorry, the light's terrible. There. And that way, that ensures the way I cross those, that this thread here is in this loop. Okay? That's not what we want. There. Okay, I'm going to do a cut. I'm going to stitch the rest of this. Okay, so I finished stitching that up there, and let's take a look. This is the front, or the right side. You can see we have a decent slant on these stitches, okay? So overall it looks like we have done a decent job. However, there's one tiny problem, but we won't see it till we look at the back, okay? And look at that. Doesn't that look funny? Looks really funny there, hey? So I did those 3 stitches on camera, and then I did one off camera. Or did I do the one on camera? I'm not sure, but I messed something up here. So let me come back to that. Okay, let's just forget that that's a shitty stitch. And if we look at the back, I think we have a decent slant. So we did a pretty decent job. So the question is, why did that happen? I'm not sure. This happens sometimes. Often it's when, like I said, when we're on this side and we put the left needle in and we come over with the right needle, if you mix that up and go underneath by accident, you're not paying attention or something, then you get that, I think. There's different, basically when you're inconsistent in your stitching, you get that. So in any case, you know, when I had both hands and I just got into my rhythm, and yeah, look at that, I got a pretty decent row stitching. So it's a blemish. And if this were any kind of piece of work that I was doing, that would drive me so insane. It actually bothers me right now quite a bit. I would unstitch all of that and then restitch the whole thing and correct that stitch. That's what I would do, but not everyone would. Again, I mean, like structurally, I don't think it matters. I think that stitch is as strong as the rest, but it's not consistent and it's not right. So I won't stand for it. So anyway, that's how I stitch. So I might take a couple shots of me stitching this guy up here, and then we'll be done.